Yo, Big D here to recap USA-Canada Olympic gold medal final on the Spunky Spectrum Sports YouTube page. Driving the top for auctions. My Facebook page, Dylan Schmettler. Twitch, that'd be the Big D 3300. And everyone else. I mean, has anybody recovered from that crazy game in Milan? Because I sure haven't, and it's been 10 hours. But there are moments that we will remember forever, and it doesn't matter in whatever sport. And today, whether a fan, a player, a broadcaster, this moment, this game will be remembered for the rest of our lives. Whether you're in Montreal, in LA, in Boston, or Calgary. And Team USA got its first gold medal with NHL players and first gold medal since the Miracle on Ice 46 years ago. And by the way, the U.S. beat the Soviet Union on this day, February 22nd, 1980. So don't blame the U.S. on February 22nd. And it's a crazy game. A crazy game. I mean, a game that is often termed by stalls, just a question. And anytime USA Canada meet, not always just the stars, but unsung heroes. And I mean, there were many heroes when red, white, and blue the night. And I'll mention them first off. In a final between these teams, space was going to be limited, and it wasn't going to be a goal festival. First team to score 2-3 goals may win. It turns out 2-1 game. And I think what we saw tonight was a very tight game, very fast game, maybe the fastest international game I've ever seen. I mean, you see that McLaren behind me? It looked like V12, V whatever, because both teams were going full ball all night. And, Canada actually started the game fairly well, but Matt Boldy put the U.S. on top. Probably had a shot Jordan Benjamin would love back, but didn't look like he went 5-hole and actually went short side, I think, putting the Americans on top. Then the Americans really finished the first period well. Shea Dillon ended up getting a penalty, but then in the second period, then the Americans actually found themselves in a real tricky spot. 5-on-3. Jake Gensel and Charlie McAvoy both called for hooking penalties, and maybe the biggest unsung hero. Bro. Is that Mackerel? Is that how you say your name? Maybe the biggest unsung hero of the game and the whole tournament was Dylan Larkin, what he did on the faceoff. I don't think I saw him lost the faceoff the whole tournament. And he won a critical faceoff in the 5-on-3 that let the U.S. dump the puck. And frankly, Canada's 5-on-3 was not as great. And I remember somebody after the game talking how Mike Sullivan's teams were great in those 5-on-3 situations. And today, in a 5-on-3 for a minute and 32 seconds, the U.S. really stayed calm and just kept making defensive plays, eventually killed off the 5-on-3 penalty. And then it took until, a minute 40-something left in the second period when Cale McCall tied it up. And you're thinking Canada's going to win because at that point, Canada kept coming after Hellebuyck. I mean, Connor McDavid had a golden opportunity on breakaway. Nope. Then third period, Malcolm Celebrating breakaway. Nope. Connor McDavid. That opportunity. Nathan McKinnon. But maybe the craziest save I've ever seen in hockey is the save Connor Hellebuyck made. I don't know if anybody's seen the picture when Hellebuyck, and by the way, yes, this is the USA shirt, actually, from my nephew's BMX club. Thought I could bring it out, but the save it looked like Taves misses the net. Devon Taves missing the net. Yeah, so if anybody saw the picture of the save, it's one of those moments we'll remember for him. Taves looks like he misses, but then Hellebuyck actually got the puck with his paddle. The paddle. It's one of the craziest moments I've ever seen in hockey. And I'm saying, yeah, let's go. I mean, it's a moment that we will remember for the rest of our lives in both countries. I mean, and then both Canada just kept pinning the U.S. again, and Hellebuyck's like, I'll talk more about the breakaway that Hellebuyck stopped against McDavid. Then the U.S. gets a goal opportunity to win the game when Sam Bennett gets 4 minutes for eye sticking on Jack Hughes. Well, then later, Jack Hughes gets his own eye sticking penalty, which ends the power play. And then both teams finish regulation 3-on-3 and thinking Canada wins. Nope. A minute and 41 seconds of overtime after an aggressive play by Hughes, finding Lewinsky, finding Hughes, goes 5-0 Joel Binnington for the U.S.'s first gold medal at the Olympics since Lake Placid in 1980, and first gold medal outside of the U.S. Crazy game, right? First story is Connor Hellebuyck played the best hockey game of his career. And yes, we've seen goalies win games. Thibaut Courtois famously 2022 Champions League final against Liverpool. And there have been great goalies throughout hockey history. Blake Kendrine with Montreal. Some of the Patrick Wall with the Canadiens and Avalanche. Salman Hatche. What John McQuick did for those King teams. But Connor Hellebuyck's story is amazing. This guy was a 5th-round draft pick. Wasn't exactly a well-known prospect. And last year, all he did was win the Hart Trophy for MVP and Vezina for best goalie in the NHL. But everybody looks at, with Connor Hellebuyck, one, he gave up the game-winning goal to Connor McDavid in the Four-Nation face-off last year. 2, Connor Hellebuyck was forward 3 times in the series against the Blues. And frankly, Connor Hellebuyck's not been. But that didn't matter tonight. He could rewrite history. And Connor Hellebuyck turned into Jim Craig, turned into Ryan Miller, turned into some combination of every American goalie. Dizzle, how could you be pulling for Canada, mate? Yeah. Making 41 saves and, putting his team on his back. And we've seen even Mike Richter, 96 World Cup final, famously put Team USA on his back, making save after save in games 2 and 3 against Canada and Montreal. And when the goalie is the best player on the ice, gives his team a chance to win, you think it's a bad thing? It's actually... I know Sidney Crosby's your dude. I'll talk about Sidney Crosby's absence later. But when a goalie plays well, his team gains confidence. And tonight, it seemed like from the opening face-off, Connor Hellebuyck was calm. The moment was not big for him. And the key point in the game when I thought Connor Hellebuyck's going to win this game was when he stopped Connor McDavid on the breakaway, because Connor McDavid on the breakaway, ooh boy, bad things usually happen, right? Nope. I mean, part of it was Brock Faber coming back and helping, but Hellebuyck doing his thing, and then doing acrobatic saves, and Hellebuyck just stymie Canada. And there's a term in hockey called goalied. Connor Hellebuyck goalied Canada tonight. It's not that Jordan Binnington was bad, but Greg Wayne finally beat Canada finally. Yeah. The only time that Team USA beat Team Canada with NHL players at the Olympics was in the preliminary round of the 2010 Olympics, and we know when that happened in the final, when Sidney Crosby got his golden goal. Yeah, but tonight, I think several guys from Team USA played well. I mean, of course, Matt Boldy with the goal. Jack Hughes has played well the whole tournament. But Jacob Slayton's probably the most unappreciative defenseman in the game. Defensive defenseman. I'll mention another D-man late in just a sec. But Slayton, what he's done defensively, I mean, this guy's a warrior. I mean, I don't know if he's quite been 100% this year, but he was big tonight. Doing his thing. Zach Werenski, the assist on the golden goal, probably the second or third best total defenseman in the NHL. It's just people don't know Zach because he's in Columbus. He's not in New York or LA or Boston, Montreal, or Toronto. But Zach Werenski's a darn good defenseman. He's just a number 5, 6 D-man on the team because Team USA's roster is stacked with defensemen. And, I mentioned Dylan Larkin. They were questioning whether or not Jack Hughes should be on this team. And, he was big early in the tournament, and even bigger, scoring the biggest goal of his career after being high-stick, losing teeth to Sam Bennett Tyson. But I think that full fly, the Nelson, Trocheck, and JT Miller line goes underappreciated. I mean, especially penalty. The U.S. was 18 of 18 on the kill. And not all of that was facing Team Canada, but what the U.S. did on that 5-on-3 was absolutely huge. Kept the game 1-0. The U.S. didn't let Canada get back in the game. And winning faces. I mean, Brock Nelson scored goals. He could have scored a hat trick against Latvia, but Trocheck and JT Miller. I mean, it's not been a great year from JT Miller, but blocking shots, doing gritty, dirty work, or just showing what he can do. And I will mention the tribute there, Johnny Gaudreau, in a minute. But just so you mentioned Sidney Crosby is my dude. You could argue in some ways Sidney Crosby played a huge role. It's not the reason Sidney Crosby's absence, not the reason why Team Canada lost this game or Team USA won. But I think in many ways, the questions, especially on that 5-on-3, what would Sidney Crosby have done differently on that 5-on-3? Because 5-on-3 for a minute and a half with Team Canada's stars, got to do more. And they know it. Team Canada's got, even without Crosby, you've got McKinnon, McDavid, Reinhardt, Celebrini, and McCall. Have to generate more offense with those guys. And, for whatever reason, Nick Suzuki couldn't win enough faceoffs. Yeah, I'm a fan cheering for Crosby. I know you're all dismal. That's why you want Crosby winning more goals. But you know, I'm glad you mentioned that Jack Hughes goal. You know, Macon Keller got the winning goal against the U.S. Canada on Thursday, and Jack Hughes got the winning goal tonight. Both those moments are going to be put up there with Mike Eruzione's winner against the Soviet Union, or Sidney Crosby's winner against the U.S. in Vancouver. And you know, you mentioned something too. Jack Hughes been hurt. Wasn't he hurt with like cutting his hand? Because Jack has not been great this year. I mean, true, the Devils haven't been great this year. But I think, there were questions. I even questioned whether or not Jack Hughes should be on this team. But Jack played his combination, Patrick Kane. I mean, Jack's usually a center in my trade. But playing the wing, Jack Hughes was unbelievable. But in that moment, if Jack doesn't make the right play at the end of the game, it could have been a 3-0 and Canada ends up winning the goal. He makes that play, then pass to the puck to Zach Olinsky, who then passed it back to Hughes, goes 5-hole on Binnington. I have him in fantasy hockey, but he's been hurt most of the year. Do you get any Olympic points? Do you get any brownie points for the Olympics? For the golden goal, right? But, 36 men have won Olympic golds, and now the Team USA's got a few more. And mentioned Jack Hughes. Of course, Quinn Hughes won the game against Sweden. How about Jack Hughes? How about the Hughes family? Because mom's part of the USA women's staff, so does she get 3 gold medals? Because both her boys won gold. So, by the way, first time ever that the USA men and the USA women both won gold medals at the same Olympics. Not bad, Team USA, kicking some serious Canadian butt on the ice. But should I do the trip? In Canada, it's funny. Connor McDavid is, by most people's standard, the best player in the world. But yet, Connor McDavid has not won a Stanley Cup final or an Olympic gold. I mean, Connor McDavid's only prize, you say, is the four-nation face-off crown last year. I mean, even this was saying Connor McChoke. And, that breakaway he had in the second period is the one time I think Connor McDavid's going to want back. And maybe Connor McDavid ran on the gas. I mean, he's got Canada played McDavid, McKinnon, McCall, Celebrini a ton of minutes on Friday. And maybe, especially in that overtime, I mean, that was not a great play. It seemed like Canada went for the kill, went on the gas, not playing defense and defense, and it bit him in the you-know-what. No Olympic points, but I have 3 teams, yeah. Canada will be in the morning for the next 4 years. Well, Connor McDavid's going to be in the morning because he's going to be soon at the chance thinking, what's going to happen to the French out? Yeah, the game the McDavid chose. Does that mean Connor McDavid? What?
Your baseball game's on TV now. Today's game.
Oh, my mom's trying to steal and get in my stream saying the baseball game that was at. By the way, I was walking the game. This true. Blue Jays, Red Sox, JetBlue Park, and literally, I just got into the control room. We turned on the television, and then Jack Hughes got the winning goal. I jumped like 5 feet in the air, and you could hear me in Boston and Toronto. And of course, we played the Blue Jays, and PA announcer Ted mentioned some point in the game that Team USA won. And in a bigger game with David Schultz, didn't he? I mean, I don't know what to say. I mean, Team Canada missed a golden medal amount of chance, not just McDavid, but McKinnon, but Tate celebrating on a breakaway. I mean, McCall got a good goal, but a lot of the other guys didn't really have great games. And now I'm gonna look up how much everybody played in this game. I don't want curling. Yeah, I don't want curling. Yeah, McDavid played 24, McKinnon 21, celebrating 21, McCall 24. But again, some Canada's players didn't get a lot of ice time. Like Sam Reinhart barely got 7 minutes. That doesn't make sense. Why Sam Reinhart only got 7 minutes? I mean, Clayton Keller only got 38 seconds, maybe one shift. I think Quinn Hughes got 25 minutes, so he let everybody in ice time. But yeah, I watched the winning goal like 30 times today. Well, how many times did we watch the Miracle on Ice? Probably 30 million, right? And by the way, I think, speaking of 30 million, I think today's game is going to get a monster number with just how big it is. But speaking of the rivalry, there's no rivalry in, I don't care if it's hockey, football, baseball, basketball, soccer, or golf, unless both sides win. Team USA can talk about how well this team plays, but until the Americans win a best-on-best tournament, we are still not the best team in the world. It doesn't matter what happens at the four nation. Until the Americans win a best-on-best, and that had not happened since the 96 World Cup of Hockey. And I'm sorry for my voice. I've been yelling since 10 a.m. I think I'm running out of juice, and I've got a 5K in the morning. Virtual 5K in the morning, so I'm trying to save some energy. But I think today was bigger for the growth of hockey. The Miracle on Ice got the group to win the 96 World Cup of Hockey. The 96 World Cup of Hockey got the Patrick Kane, Zach Parisis to win. But there had not been a team to solidify what Team USA's success has been. Obviously winning the World Juniors, the World Championships with Tate Thompson last year, big help. But until the Americans win, preferably the Olympics, Team USA will always be known as what? The Miracle Team? It's been 46 years since Mike Eruzione scored the winner against the Soviet Union. Now, going forward, people say, well, Jack Hughes scored the winner of this game, or Macon Keller scored the winner of this game, or Quinn Hughes scored the winner against Sweden. It's like Team USA's now got other options. And in this game, I think the American defense showed in numbers. Quinn Hughes, got an assist on, I think it was Matt Boldy's goal. Yes. But Quinn Hughes was not just great offensively in the tournament, he was great defensively today on McDavid, showing his speed and versatility. Despite playing 24 minutes, which, it's a normal Quinn Hughes night. And I think, you could argue, people in Canada will probably say Cale McCall is the best D-man in the world. People in America would probably say Quinn Hughes right now. And right now, both guys played great throughout the tournament. Maybe Quinn Hughes was better. I don't know. By the way, I think Connor McDavid won MVP of the Olympics, but you know what? He won the Conn Smythe when the Oilers didn't win the cup a couple of years ago, so that didn't surprise me. But let me see if I have it. I thought it was cool. They did a tribute to Johnny Gaudreau. I must say it's hard to hold in the emotion seeing Johnny Gaudreau's jersey on the ice and seeing his family, 2 kids on the ice. By the way, I think it's Johnny Jr.'s 2nd birthday today, and in my view, I think Johnny Hockey is on this team. One of my favorite players, small, a lot like Patrick Kane, but could score, play make. A lot of fun to watch. And just a great character, great personality, and, teammates with Matthew Tkachuk and Zach Werenski. That's why it was fun seeing Werenski and Tkachuk having the sweater. And having Johnny Hockey's sweater in the locker room, I think, helped. And I think Johnny Hockey, would have been proud of those guys. Not just winning, but the way they did. Wasn't just one guy, it was a team effort. Everybody did their role. D-man, forwards, goalie, coach. And, you could question Team USA for roster selection, whether or not Cole Caulfield, Jason. One thing you can't say, Team USA didn't earn it. Maybe the goalie played one. Maybe the goalie might have been the reason why Team USA won this game. But you can't say Team USA didn't earn it. The defense gave up what? 1, 2, 8, 9 goals. Limited Canada to 1 goal in 60-something minutes. I'm hearing excuse in Canada. Oh, 3-on-3 is not the way that. Wait, didn't Canada beat Czechia 3-on-3? And guess who Canada started overtime? Started for Canada in overtime. Connor McDavid, Nathan McKinnon, Cale McCall. Let's see, maybe the 3 best players in the world. Shut up. I don't want to hear that excuse. If you lose in a game because if you make an excuse because the game's 3-on-3, you know what? Puts other guys out there. With McKinnon, McDavid. By the way, I think McDavid was on the ice for both American goals, so not exactly a great day from '97. Yeah, Hellebuyck could have also been MVP. I think Connor Hellebuyck was the best goalie, but Connor McDavid always gets the prize. And maybe Connor McDavid's got that Josh Allen feel because now I think Josh Allen is maybe a little hard on himself. McDavid might be a little selfish. I don't know, but maybe he's got to pull LeBron and say, "I'm out of Edmonton. And by the way, cool fact about the goal. All four men on the ice for the U.S., that being Hellebuyck, Dylan Larkin, Zach Walensky, and Jack Hughes, I think all from the same state. Crazy, right? Crazy. You can't write this script. I think Megan Keller's from Michigan. I mean, everybody says Minnesota's hockey royalty. Maybe it's Michigan, for all we know. Although Minnesota might. It's a chance the Wild end up facing the Stars in the good chance in the first round. So we'll see. And the Red Wings are good this year. So could we have a Red Wings Wild Stanley Cup final? Although everybody in the East and West will have arguments to say, right? Yeah, Bills have lost 4 Super Bowls in a row, right? Unreal. That's why. And I think questions are going to be asked in Team Canada. Maybe not just the coach, the GM, but Sam Bennett got a bad penalty for a high stick, nearly cost his team. I'm not sure the Panther guys are 100%. I didn't think Nick Suzuki played a great gold medal game. Maybe that's where Sidney Crosby being out hurt, because Suzuki did not win enough faceoffs. And I think he absolutely hurt Canada today. And maybe Canada missed Josh Morrissey. His puck moving. Maybe a Matthew Schaefer and Evan Bouchard, although Evan Bouchard's got more turnovers than James Harden or Russell Westbrook, right? I thought Bennington played great. The turn. He just needed more help. Maybe Team Canada's team was too top heavy, while the Americans were more spread out. I mean, also leads me to Austin Matthews. What does this mean for Austin Matthews? Well, Austin Matthews can finally remove the proverbial monkey from his back. He's got that major title. He's got an Olympic gold medal. When his reception going to be back in Toronto. I don't know if Austin Matthews will be the most popular fellow there. Now that he's got an Olympic gold in Canada, does he? Yes, Glenn. Finland won the bronze, beating Slovakia last night. But I thought Austin started off slow, but he got better and better throughout the tournament, and today played a really strong defensive game, winning some faceoffs, chipping with an assist. I think it was a really strong tournament, and hopefully a growing point where Austin Matthews can go from being just a goal scorer to a 200-foot player, and maybe lead the Maple Leafs or whatever team to a Stanley Cup, because I think we want to see Austin Matthews play on the game's biggest stage. And I don't know if it's going to happen this year. Maybe there's a scenario where Austin Matthews ends up in LA or somewhere. I mean, the Kings probably need a forward or a center with Andre Kopitar retiring. And, it'd be another star in Hollywood, right? So, crazy Olympics for the U.S. I mean, maybe we didn't win as many medals as Norway, but I think the U.S. got 12 golds, both hockey golds. Craziness and figure skating. The monobob, more events that I want to know. Aerial, so. But if you're in Canada right now, I think you're fuming, because the 2 gold medals that Team Canada won were the men's and women's hockey gold medals. And not just losing, but losing to Team USA has got to be the biggest pain in the universe. And speaking of NHL players, I think we would all say NHL players are here to stay because we saw an amazing Olympic hockey tournament after a great formation next year. Whatever the World Cup of Hockey or next tournament is, sign me up. And then 2030 Olympics and then 2034 in the US. And there's a good chance a lot of these players are playing for Canada, the US, Sweden, Finland. We'll see how many, but it's going to be one heck of a tournament in the Alps. And I think in a way, if we can grow that game, not just in Canada, but the US, and get more young boys and young girls playing hockey, not just all playing football, baseball, basketball, softball. You know, hey, I want to be Megan Kell. I want to be Hillary Knight. I want to be Jack Hughes. I want to be Austin Matthews. I think this game has got the chance to grow hockey in this country. And you see the flag? Yes. And no Russia in this Olympics. What would happen if by the 2028 World Cup of Hockey, if Russia is allowed to compete? You know, what would Russia have done to this Olympic team with Kucherov, with Ovechkin, with Malkin, with any number of Shesterkin, Bob, Vasilevsky in goal? Russia would have been deeper than the U.S. in goal, which is nuts. Now, maybe Russia's blue line wouldn't have been the U.S. or Canada or Sweden, but craziness. And you know what? At least if you're Nikita Kucherov, he'll get a couple-week break. By the way, I think Austin Matthews' first two games back from the Olympics are in Florida. One's in Tampa against the Lightning. One's in Florida. An innocent question. How many of the Florida guys will now not play? Because there's a chance, Panthers, they may want to, not saying tank, but there's a certain guy from Penn State, and he would look good in a Panthers sweater right now. I'm thinking Gavin McKenna. I don't know. Panthers have keep their top 10 protected pick. That would look good, right? That would look really nice. And frankly, I know I haven't talked his name a lot, but Jack Eichel's amazing. You know, Jack Eichel might not have the speed or name of Connor McDavid, Nathan McKinnon, Sidney Crosby, but Jack Eichel could play in any situation. Face off, power play, penalty kill, just a terrific player. And I even saw go shaking hands with his Vegas teammate and Golden Knight captain Mark Stone. By the way, I think Team USA is actually flying back to Miami because of the blizzard hitting the Northeast. And did anybody see the picture of like Johnny Hockey sweater on the ice? Well, I think I just saw a video, but the American team was listening to Toby Keith's American courtesy of the Red, White, and Blue song after the game. And you know what? It might have not have been the way we wanted, but we did put a boot in Canada's butt, right? And there might be another picture on the wall before long. I might need to have more than just the Trevor picture of Trevor or the koalas up here. But so we passed 40 minutes. What a game! What Olympics! You know, we all remember the Miracle on Ice 46 years ago. Michael's famous call. By the way, I think Kenny Albert did about 752 games in the Olympics. I'm not sure how he had the energy to call a great call, not just the women golden goal, but tonight's game. And hopefully we have 752 more golden moments. World Cup this year, Olympics in LA. I'm feeling good about Team U. I'm feeling better and better about Team USA and the direction we're going, not just in winter, summer, maybe on the pitch. But this is the Big D signing off after my USA Canada Olympic gold medal final recap. Thanks for my friends, family, followers, anybody sneaking in here, Driving Top Productions, Spunky Spectrum Sports YouTube page. Big D signing off for now. Go USA. All the way.